Welcome everyone to an breaking news edition here live on our channel. Mozilla yesterday, I believe, announced Mozilla AI, a startup and community building trustworthy and open source AI. I am of course here previously shouted out that Mozilla is kind of a failed foundation, similar to the Linux Foundation, only burning money. And this, in my opinion, is completely crazy. So what they're doing, they're committing $30 million, which they actually have for building a web browser, right? Remember this web browser, which decade of decreasing market share and few people except ourselves are still using. But now the few money they have left, they create a startup and a community building trustworthy, independent and open source AI ecosystem. The only 3 months into 23, already clear biggest stories of the year is AI. AI's seized the public attention like Netscape did in 1994 and the iPhone did in 2007. New tools like Stable Diffusion and just released GPT-4, reshaping, and so amazing stuff. So I have multiple problems with that, right? Starting with, in my opinion, the Mozilla Foundation was for web technology and a browser, which they already majorly fail at. Losing market share, right? Everyone who wants a even bigger code base and stuff runs Google's Chromium or Apple Safari on the Mac. And Mozilla has a track record of failing projects, so many that they're not even all listed on Wikipedia, because here's only mostly outdated stuff. So people so little interested in what Mozilla is actually doing that even the list on Wikipedia is completely outdated, because lots of their stuff, it's not even freaking listed here, because here's only like Firefox, Focus, Reality, VPN. It's not even, Pocket is not mentioned here, right? I mean, VPN is probably mentioned here. But so other stuff, Abanon, Bonsai, web-based interface, it's a little bit silly. That is probably from 15 years ago and before Git and stuff. But also, Mozilla could have been GitHub, right? But yeah, too little, too late. Web browser intended for macOS. I'm not even sure if that was a Mozilla project. Do you remember Electrical Fire, Java? I mean, some of the stuff, is this even accurate? Maybe it is, whatever. Firefox Logwise, remember some mobile application integrated part of Firefox browser, secure storing passwords. Firefox OS, right? And so that's a problem, right? They want to do everything. They're not good at a browser. They have declining, you could argue, once upon a time they were somewhat okay with the browser, although probably most people agreed it was so slow. Like, remember how freaking effing slow Netscape was? I remember trying to run a bloody browser, Netscape or whatever the name was at that time, on an 800 megahertz iBook or other stuff. It was always just so effing slow, it was ridiculous. Certainly others agreed that Apple did Safari, or even KDE did KHTML with Conqueror, I remember in the 2000s, that even I was running because it felt like twice as fast. Sure, it didn't render everything and stuff, but hey, what it rendered twice as fast. Certainly Apple agreed they did Safari based on the KDE Conqueror's KHTML code base. That is no WebKit, right? See a pattern here, and then Google said, you know what, that is so much more amazing. What KDE did say with KHTML and Apple forked to WebKit, that actually Google forked it too, and is using similar KHTML WebKit derived code base, that is Chromium. It's like Mozilla had one job, right, and they failed at their, like, with billions of dollars of funding over the years, mostly from Google and stuff, search engine deals. They failed with their primary goal and perspective here. They tried a bloody OS, right? Because everyone, you see this 1962 Linux distributions, everyone and their child needs to have a freaking operating system. Don't delay, try it here to Linux today. Firefox OS failed. Operating system for smartphones still based on HTML5. It's like, yeah, super high performance. Not. Who is surprised when it's web OS? Marina improved layout engine based on code Netscape Communicate, Minimo web browser, handheld devices, some other. So here's not even all stuff in here, right? And do you even know what I mean, it's so silly, right? They lose money, they lose funding. they get every renewed deal, as my understanding, less money from Google because market share is tanking. Do you know that Firefox, like other, if you go to the website today and they want to sell you products, right? Here's freaking products. And I mean, not only is here, Firefox browser is there, but like on products, it's like view all products, not even a Firefox browser here. But monitor, okay, to be fair, there is browser. But I mean, also priorities, right? Like not only, hey, here's our world-renowned, award-winning, amazing browsers. Like, no, hey, we want Firefox Monitor. It's like, do you? If someone is worse in marketing than myself, as an engineer and computer scientist and stuff, like, if even I finds this less than stellar, then it's probably no wonder that the market share is tanking. So yeah, Firefox Monitor for personal information, like amazing product, right? The number one product you were looking for to see if your personal information has been compromised on the web, data breaches. Sign up there for future alerts. Amazing technology. Firefox browser, okay. And then I criticized this before, right? I probably made a live stream, Mozilla VPN, like who in the right state of mind and stuff would use a VPN in general because it's mostly snake oil. And that from Mozilla, right? I mean, if you need a VPN to do shady stuff, then obviously don't go for that to Mozilla. Why is VPN snake oil? Because stuff is already encrypted, and then if someone wants to listen to your stuff like the CIA and stuff, NSA, then they obviously have exit monitoring at VPN stuff. And VPN is virtual private network, right? To your private, not like virtual public network to other. No, I mean, it's going, if you book a flight ticket, it's going to your airline and stuff and bank anyway. VPN was and is useful if you look into your own virtual private network at home or at work. You run your own VPN at work or at home, and not, I mean, that people want to commercialize this to sell you snake oil privacy. Anyway. And then the other stuff, like failed stuff, like who is paying for VPN or Pocket? The other, like, Discover Pocket content on the web. No. And the crazy stuff is, this product do not even list other prominent stuff from Mozilla, because here are their labs, and they also have Firefox Reality, Firefox Listen, and then it's like where to start, where to stop. You had one job, and that is, of course, don't try to do everything, right? Companies who try to do everything, usually their everything is not successful, right? Burning billions. Pro tip, don't burn billions on unsuccessful stuff nobody wants. Firefox Reality, certainly trying, and so somehow Mozilla is looking for new problems to build a solution that will fail again, because I have the impression, so certainly with VPN, like there is VPN hype, every influencer on YouTube shouting out VPN. Pocket, I have no idea how they got to that idea, but also Reality, VR turned the internet upside down. Take Oculus Go and another virtual headset for a spin on Firefox Reality to find out. Meet the T-Rex and make robots dance cha-cha in the Firefox browser made for VR. It's like, if you want low latency VR and stuff, you don't need Firefox and you don't need the web for that, right? Usually the best VR is some local stuff for low latency and high 3D performance, because obviously all web, like remember what was this, virtual TML, VRML, yeah, virtual reality markup language and stuff. The failed stuff from the end of the 90s or so. Firefox Listen, it's like why do they need to do that, right? Trying everything and fail. Firefox Listen, new technology allows web content to become your personal podcast. New features currently available in Pockets, like the Pockets that nobody's using. Common voice, experiment with your vocal. Every voice heard. Common voice as a community product will help virtual assistant understand people from diverse backgrounds, but I have no idea. Rather than random stuff. Hubs by Mozilla together, nearest forest friends hubs, whatever. Product things, build IoT, weather forecast, web XR view, experience the future of mixed reality on the web. Or maybe that is somewhat useful. Spoke by Mozilla take amazing 3D content from across the web and I don't know. I have no words. The next, like, I wish, and the one successful thing, the one truly really good thing, Rust. They fired the team, right? Made probably also a news shout out, right? They have amazing people that do amazing stuff, like at least mostly amazing. And the one successful, the next generation amazing programming language that everyone and their friends wants to freaking use, they fire their team of, but they have money for all this Abundantware that is looking for problems and people who don't want it. And the successful stuff, they also, I mean, not only to start, I even forgot with all this ridiculous projects here, because there's also, where am I even now? Did I not click on distilled? What the heck? I just wanted the bloody products. Because they also, now I remember, they want to charge for documentation, right? You remember, what is Firefox known for? Mozilla is only known for Firefox. For what else is Firefox known? Leave in the comments below. And they continue to disappoint their Firefox users, the true decades-long users. It's not the highest performance and so on. Not innovating the web as much as Apple and Google put their own standards out there. And instead sinking money in unsuccessful projects that no normal person would start a startup like this. So the problem is with AI, it's of course a super complex project, right? I don't see there, you need really the best of the industry. Where's even all the, you see browser, wherever is the, what even was it, Mozilla AI, wherever I left that. The problem I have is that you need the best of the industry, right? And the best of the industry, they already work at other companies. They work at OpenAI. Apparently it's not open enough. They work at all the car manufacturers, self-driving stuff, aerospace, robotics, and so on. Who would want to go to Mozilla? They only get not the best of the industry, who all have already job into successful stuff. And so the not best of the industry, which sure, they can also be amazing and students and stuff, but they should build an AI. And AI is one of the most expensive stuff where you need hardware, and the most hardware and the fastest hardware. So you can do some AI. I mean, maybe that's some small project to run trustworthy and open source AI on your Raspberry Pi or your Radeon and NVIDIA card at home, but I have no words anymore what these big mega corporations are doing. I wish they would do an amazing browser, but somehow they really, it's like they intentionally want to run their open source foundation into the grounds. With the last money they have in the bank, the last, like, and that is the thing, eventually it will be the last project they try. Oh darn, I wanted actually. Oh, you know what, there is actually a new release, win-win of was there? Oh no, there, where was there? No, there's a new release. With some bug fixes. Win-win, some quick update here. And there is a foundation, Mozilla Foundation. Let's see what their currently funding is. It's usually easier to look this up on Wikipedia of all things than so here previously they got 300 million annually, which are of course crazy high numbers, right? And that is my criticism for such high numbers. So this was a decade ago though. I wonder. So Mozilla Foundation is funded by donations and 2% of annual net revenue from Mozilla Corporation, amounting to over 8.3 million in 2006. Yeah, whatever. I think they have like two parts. So they have also Mozilla Corporation, of whatever structure they have there. So they have here apparently a revenue of 441 million, according to whatever. (2020) auditor statement. Where would be the donation? Grants and donation. There's salaries and benefits. Grants and donation. Thousands. Yeah, whatever. Leave in the comments below how impressed you are, and you could always argue, but AI is now popular. But I would still argue, better focus on one thing, better focus on your core product, the one thing you can redo. Maybe you could argue they simply can't, because Netscape was embarrassingly slow. All this XUL UI stuff, that was a pain on gigahertz scale, or even like 2 gigahertz Pentium 4 stuff. It's like it wasn't snappy, which is ridiculous, obviously, because XML-based UI stuff. So maybe you could argue they can't, which is why Apple did Safari and Google did Chrome. But maybe, I mean, sure, you could then say, okay, we are done. Like maybe, I mean, there are mostly two things, right? Either means eventually they have less and less market share and they abandon Firefox too, because obviously they can't do it the best. Or they run out of money first. That one of those projects once becomes truly successful, I doubt, because none of them, neither VPN, no Pockets, nor Firefox OS, nor any of the other hard to remember abandoned projects. So yeah, you could argue they can't do browser well. Ironically, I still run it mostly because it's as painful as it is to build. It's still buildable, and Chromium is also buildable, but even more. Reminds me of when we still need to. Probably should really package Chromium next, not because I love it the most, just because we need alternatives, and certainly if we want sticking to the one thing we can do well is an operating system, then apparently we should also support all useful primary packages and projects to our users, friends and family and subscribers. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't see this going anywhere for 30 million. It sounds a lot, but it isn't. It's not that many high-profile people you can pay for that for very long, plus all the hardware you need. And I totally don't see this in any way, shape or form in this distilled Mozilla's product categories. I mean, between Pocket and VPN, it's like, what do they also want to build a image generating and chatting AI? And yeah, I mean, maybe that is a future of all the failed projects and VR and mixed VR and stuff on the web, which not. Certainly AI is kind of lot of the future, but whether, sure, there's always the next startup who does it better. People did start up Google and other open AI stuff nowadays, and even GitHub and so on. So there's always a chance to do something. Of course, it gets increasingly difficult the more sophisticated vendors out there. Like, look at all the operating system stuff. It's not easy to get anywhere between Microsoft's market dominance and Apple's macOS and their loyal fan base. And I see it here too, right? And sure, maybe now is the time, increasingly the last time, to easily create an AI startup. Maybe there is always a chance for quantum AI or so of all the AI research and startups. But yeah, leave in the comments below. It is crazy what they're doing. I'm speechless. I have no words. I think with Rust documentation and surrounding projects and conferences and books, they probably could have earned more than with VPN and Pockets. Hope you learned something. Leave in the comments below. Have a good day and night, and see you next time.